Hey, what's up, everybody? BDL44 coming at you in another video. I was really wrong about the Warriors. They went home tonight, man. The Kings are about to light the beam right now. Keegan Murray had 8 threes. Keon Ellis, man, it's funny. I was listening to Draymond Green's podcast this morning, and he had mentioned Keon Ellis loosely. And I remember saying out loud in this room by myself, you better respect Keon Ellis. And I wish I would have turned on the camera for y'all to see how serious I was and what my thoughts were at that moment. But I just know that he needs more respect. The Lakers learned who Keon Ellis was in all the games that he played against us this year. And now that Malik Monk and Kevin Huerter are out, I should have given more credence to the idea that he is ready to step in as a shooting guard and be a problem for all comers, because at the end of the day, he's a two-way guy. He can hit the three, he's going to slash fast, and he plays hellacious defense. And you saw that tonight. You cannot leave him open. He's going to hit the open three. He's got a nice little floater, and boy, did he hound Steph Curry tonight. Keon Ellis, he is about to make a real name for himself. Obviously, they have another play-in tournament game against the Pelicans, of whom they have not beaten. 0-5 against the Pellies. They be getting blown out by the Pelicans every single time they see them. As I always tell my Lakers, the Denver Nuggets have not done enough for us to be fearing them, but the Pelicans have done enough to the Kings to make the Kings fear them. I can tell you that. They have. They blow them out every single time they see them. So, we have to wonder how this game is going to go, if it's not going to be more of the same. Games in Pelican land, so the Kings are a bad bet. But what I can say is Keon Ellis is going to give them all they can handle from that shooting guard position. They need not slouch their shoulders just because Malik Monk and Kevin Huerter ain't going to be entering their building, because that dude is a problem. And if Keegan Murray going to hit 8 threes, it's going to be rough, man. But I'm looking forward to that matchup. I'm probably going to watch that game. I really don't watch too many games that don't have my team involved in it. But when you talk about Keegan Murray versus Trey Murphy, I mean, that's what comes to mind for me, the type of shooting that's possible when you got that type of shooting on both sides. I think it could be a 3-ball fest. Got to see what happens with Zion Williamson. Of course, he went down with the injury today in our game in the fourth quarter. So I don't know what his status will be for the play-in tournament game against the Kings, but the Kings will be there. The Kings will be the team they face. Golden State season is over. Klay Thompson. Now, when I was telling you guys about my predictions of the play-in tournament, I said I believe the Warriors are going to win, but I don't know that my belief in the Warriors holds a lot of merit, because of the fact that they have had bad rotations, hurt them this season, and too many 3 of 13 Klay Thompson games that have hurt the Warrior team this season. I said those words exactly. Klay Thompson went 0 for 10 tonight, y'all. 0 for 10 in a play-in, do or die, win or go home. He gave them nothing. And I don't know. He's obviously a free agent. I'm not sure if it's restricted or unrestricted, but I cannot, with their cap situation, with all of whom they've paid, including CP3's ridiculous contract sitting on their books, eating up a lot of their cap, I have a hard time thinking they're going to play Klay Thompson enough to keep him this offseason. I think we may have seen the last of him in Golden State. I really do, man. Most of what the problem was this year was him shooting poorly. It cost him many games this season. Many. And tonight was the worst. The worst one at the worst time, man. I don't think investing in him at the amount that he's going to be asking for makes any sense for the Golden State Warriors at all. None. And to be honest with you, I don't think he should probably not be paid that by anybody, depending on what it is he's asking for. Based on what he did tonight, based on what he's done all season, he's aging into a highly inconsistent basketball player. Highly inconsistent. And that's not the Klay Thompson you want. That's not who you can count on. He's going to have his big games, but if you're going to rely upon him, you're going to have a lot of this. And it is what it is, man. Obviously, he's due for a payday, so he's not going to retire. But if he weren't due for a payday, I would consider retirement if I were him. Then to go down like this, go out like this, and then find himself on some random team like Detroit or something next year, I think he should retire, man. If he's not going to make the money, I think he should retire. Because this tonight was like, this really made me wonder if he's done for real or not. This was bad. So that's what comes to mind for me. I think the Golden State Warriors, as we know it, may be over with, man. Obviously, Steph will still be there, but I don't know who else. But I can tell you this. I'm not a big fan of Mike Dunleavy, the GM, man. Taking on CP3's contract, some of the little role player moves he made, I thought were awful. And if they want to know my opinion, I think they need to go ahead and get rid of him quickly. Before he can do anything else to ruin their team, they need to go ahead and move Mike Dunleavy and beg Bob Myers to return. That's what needs to happen there. So, yeah, that's what comes to mind for me, man. I said this at the beginning of the season, I'll say it now. Golden State Warriors need to pick a timeline, man. Because you got guys like Moody and Kuminga and Trace Jackson Davis and Podziemski all waiting for their turn. And they still have to play behind these guys, man. These old guys. And it don't make no sense to me. Not when you see what the old guys did tonight. No. Put an end to this. Get Clay up out of there and give the keys to some other guys, man. Give the keys to the guys that have been waiting their turn, who are ready to take on bigger roles than we know it. You're stumping their growth, Golden State, with this dual timeline nonsense. And as you can see, you didn't make the playoffs, man. Not only did you not make the playoffs, but you got blown out in the play-in tournament game. I mean, this is enough. You got 4 rings. How many finals appearances? 5 finals appearances, something like that. Enough, man. Let it go. Let it go. So that's what I got to say to Golden State, man. It was a nice run. You still got Steph, so you can always build something big. But if y'all keep kicking the can down the road with these old dudes, it's about as good as it gets, in my opinion. The championship days are behind you unless you retool around Steph Curry. That's my opinion, man. And tonight it was proven. So that's what I got to say, man. I'm glad my team's in the playoffs. We ain't got to worry about none of this crap. And this is exactly why I didn't want us falling to 10. You see what happened to Golden State? They're gone. You want to duck the smoke? You would have ran into the Sacramento Kings, of whom the Lakers have had no success against. And judging by the way they shot tonight, it would have been very difficult for us to beat them if they played like this. So I'm glad we had our little game with the 2 games with the Pelicans, knocked them off. I said that was our better matchup. Let's go on and see the Denver Nuggets, see what we can do there, because this play-in tournament crap is for the birds, man. You do not want to be a part of what Golden State just fell victim to. You do not want to be a part of that. So we'll see what happens with the Eastern Conference tomorrow. Of course, my predictions go as followed. I picked the 76ers to beat the Miami Heat, and I picked the Hawks to beat the Bulls. We'll see if that happens. I'm 1-1 with my predictions thus far. But I left that caveat out there. I just didn't know if I should trust the Golden State Warriors, because Clay was capable of doing this. And sure enough, I should have leaned on that thought a little more, because this is how it played itself out with him 0 for 10. And Keon Ellis is the truth, man. I don't know what's going to happen with him going forward, but he's definitely a player that needs to be in a situation where he can continue doing what he's doing right now. That's what I know. I think if he's fortunate enough to beat these Pelicans, he's going to make a name for himself in these playoffs against the OKC Thunder. That's what I think. You're going to know who Keon Ellis is soon enough. That is a real two-way player out here. And Keegan Murray's the truth, man. Jaden Ivey didn't want to play for the Sacramento Kings. It was the best thing in the world, him demanding to not be drafted by the Kings, because it forced them to take Keegan Murray, and the rest is history. That's just really what it comes down to. So that's what I got to say, man. I don't know if I have a prediction for the Sacramento Kings-Pelican game. I got to see what's going on with Zion. But obviously, smart money's probably going to put money on the Pelicans, because they just own the Kings. They own them. But I don't know if that remains with the way the Kings played like tonight versus Zion not being out there. If the Kings played like they did tonight, they probably beat the Pelicans. That's what I just watched. And so on and so forth. So that's pretty much where my thought is, man. That's what it is. We'll see how these play-in tournament games go, man. But for now, Golden State is out of here. BDF 44. I thank y'all for watching. I'm out.